Namaste to all. I welcome you on this very important discussion today related to the new filing system in LLP. And today we have our Joint Secretary, Manoj Pandey sir, who is also the government nominee of ICI, our Honorable President, CA Dr. Debashish Mitraji, the Chairperson of the our CLCGC Committee, Corporate Law and Corporate Governance Committee, CA Shri Priya Kumarji, and the Vice Chairperson of the CLCGC CA, Preeti Salvaji. And also, we have got a host team of the e-governance MCA Director Sanjay Jainji, B. Shri Kumarji, Vivekji, Chandanji, Elishaji, and the faculties, another from LNT, Rohitji and Samirji. I request our Chairperson, Shri Priyaji, because our GS has to leave early. So for the initial comments, I'll request Shri Priyaji to please invite the Honorable GS.
Could I please request Shri Manoj Pandey ji to speak first? Yep. Please go ahead, sir.
President, Chartered Accountant Institute, other Chartered Accountants friends who are attending this webinar, other professionals, a very good afternoon. A very good afternoon to Madam Shri Priya and Madam Savla and Sarika, who is coordinating this webinar. As we all know, today's webinar is being conducted to sensitize and make the stakeholders aware of the LLP module in version 3, which is going to be deployed at 00 hours on 6th of March. 5th March, 11:59 p.m., we'll be switching over and we'll be deploying LLP module in version 3 of MCA21. As you would all be aware, MCA had earlier implemented first phase of version 3 in May 2021 with revamped website and other modules like ebook and e-consultation. Gradually, other modules like learning management system were also introduced during the last fiscal. Now we are entering phase 2. In phase 2 of version 3, Ministry would be deploying LLP module first, followed by companies module and other data analytics based modules like compliance management system, e-adjudication and enforcement modules. Friends, you would be aware, version 1 of MCA21 was implemented in 2006. And basically it aimed at digitization of all records and enabling stakeholders to do transactions on MCA21 electronically. Then we migrated to version 2 and stabilization of not only digitization and electronic filing, but also cleaning of registry took place. Version 3 is going to be data analytics based. There are other distinct features which would be discussed during presentations by e-governance team and LTI team. In transition from one version to another version, usually system takes some time for its stabilization. I'll request the professionals to keep their feedback and send them through a small team constituted by President ICI, who may be in touch with e-governance team of the ministry and LTI team who are implementing this version 3 of MCA21 on behalf of ministry. They are part of this presentation. The timely feedback will help us timely resolution. Version 3 of LLP module is going to be web-based. Forms are going to be web-based rather than PDF forms. The login system is going to be changed now. The team of e-governance and LTI would take all the stakeholders through the finer details. With these words, I conclude and request the e-governance team and LTI team to take the Chartered Accountant fraternity through the presentation on different aspects of LLP modules. I thank President ICI to take active interest in organizing this webinar, and the team, enthusiastic team led by Madam Shri Priya, because they are in touch with e-governance and LTI team, and they have already given some feedback for resolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
May I request Sanjay Jain, sir, Director, to have a few words?
Before that, I'll request our Honorable President, ICICA, Dr. Devashish Mitra ji, who has been, though he's a president from, I would say, the eastern part of our country, but the technical knowledge which he possesses on this corporate laws, because he has been chairing this committee earlier prior to being president. So his knowledge and interaction with the MCA has been great. So I'll request our very honorable President Devashish Mitra sir to please give his initial comment.
Please.
Thank you very much, Pramodji. Just a few minutes. To Manoj Pandey sir, thank you very much for your kind presence. To the Chairperson Corporate Law, Sri Priya, and the Vice Chairperson, Preeti Savla, you see, I know both of you have been working very hard, and I have promised Ministry of Corporate Affairs that we shall continue to be very closely associated with them, and please be very closely associated. Pandey sir thought that we should create a small team, and I believe that small team is already in place, and we should always be in touch. And our feedback should be extremely constructive, so that that is the way to go forward. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India takes great pride in joining hands with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, our parent ministry. And let me assure you, Pandey sir, that we'll do everything possible to see that this venture of e-filing for LLP on MCA21 Version-3 is a great success. With these words, I shall now hand over to Mr. Pramod Jain, my council colleague.
Thank you very much, President sir. Now, before we begin this session to be taken over by MCA e-governance team and the LNT, I'll request our Chairperson, Shri Priya Kumar, to just talk about this whole process in a very brief to all our members, because how important it is for all our members who are doing this LLP and other compliances. So how important this session would be for them to see that the changeover they are accustomed to, and whatever their queries are, they respond back to the CLCGC Chairperson Shri Priya or the Vice Chairperson Preeti Salva. Over to you, Shri Priya.
So thank you very, very much, Pramodji. The President, ICAI, Shri Devashish Mitra, whom we of late refer to as the sun from the east, as an SON. So here's a very hearty welcome to you, sir. This is your home ground. Shri Sanjay Jain, Director E-Governance. Shri B. Shri Kumar, Joint Director. Shri Vivek, Deputy Director. Shri Chandan Kumar, Deputy Director. Shri Aseshla Krishna, Assistant Director. Mr. Rohit, whom we've been in constant touch with, who's in LLT, from LNT, who are implementing this portal, and Mr. Samir Gupta from LNT. My council colleague Preeti Savla, the Vice President Shri Aniket. Here's a very, very hearty good evening to all of you. And at the outset, a huge round of thanks and applause. I'm told that over 3,000 members had already logged in about 10 minutes back. So this is phenomenally good in terms of an attendance and the kind of work we do. So as advised by Pramodji, I'd obviously make this very short. The first thing is I don't intend this to be flattering because you're our parent ministry, but have merely taken the liberty of being a bit personal stroke professional here. The last 5 years, we've seen the MCA to be an extremely proactive regulator. And I think this is absolutely creditable and noteworthy because as a country, we are very old and we're very diverse and we've had a lot of legacy issues. But I do see a very, very concerted attempt by the MCA in the last couple of years to actually set these issues right. Whether it's in the terms of implementation of a new law, which is like the IBC, or the number of changes to this law which has happened, which is very, very proactive based on judicial decisions. the number of changes to existing laws, whether it's a new Schedule 3 or whether it's the new accounting rules, the audit rules, I think we're sort of getting bang on to ensure that we have the highest standards of corporate governance, which is not only important from a domestic perspective, but also from a foreign inflow perspective. So at the outset, a huge round of applause to MCA, which is making all this possible. And we are absolutely proud and privileged to be part of the MCA, the ICAI. Now, not only are these large changes in laws happening, but I think even at a transaction level, in terms of the implementation of the new MCA portal, I think we've made huge strides. In the last 3 days, we've been exposed to this portal rather intensively. Manoj ji had mentioned that there is a testing team. I find the flow of this portal very, very beautiful and very, very convenient. And I think the best thing is somebody could have taken two options: to live with what we already had or to make some changes. And I think the essence of any human quest for excellence is to drive these changes. Of course, we'll succeed, but I'm sure there would be teething problems. I would just like to assure you, sir, that we'd stay absolutely committed to helping this portal go live and to do the debugging, whatever. That's very common in any IT implementation, in all sincere earnest. And at this point, I must place on record my biggest gratitude to the President. So we told him there is a request to a small team, and President sir immediately said, please go right ahead, just let me know what you want. And the support, of course, of my committee and my Vice Chairman Preeti Savla have been outstanding. So it's over to all of you, and thank you very, very much, and very, very proud to be a partner in Nation Building.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, President sir, for always being there for all of us together, because we together, all our team, and you as our head of the team, I would say, have been very nicely taking up along since the day you took over as the President. And yes, this corporate laws, one of the very, very important committees. And I really thank you, President sir, for taking off your very, very, very well time and joining to share your very initial views with the members at large. Now I'll request our MCA e-governance team, Sanjay Jainji, the director, to take over and explain to our members actually what is that change and how they should go about. And again, I'll request members, they should note it down. And whenever they have any problem, instead of posting directly on the portal, on the social media, request to the CLCGC, and this group would be taking it up with the relevant team. And we'll be hoping from the institute side, under the leadership of our president and the chairperson of CLCGC, that the issues are resolved and we get. Over to you, Sanjay.
A very good afternoon to all of you. And I would like to convey my thanks to CSI to organizing this wonderful webinar. Under the able guidance of our Joint Secretary, we have developed almost all the functionalities of MCA21 V3. As all you know, MCA21 has been one of the mission mode projects of Government of India, and it is a part of budget speech last year. And this MCA21 V3 will leverage the use of latest technology to streamline the corporate compliance and stakeholder experience. MCA21 V3 was planned to implement it in two phases. Just like JS sir ne bataya, first phase 1 has already been implemented on May by Minister of State Sri Anurag Singh Thakur. Now it's the turn of phase 2. Phase 2 mein initially we are launching LLP module on 5th-6th March, and in the next company module we will launch in April-May. It is the advanced stage. This LLP module, this new LLP module will have interactive dashboard, and all the earlier PDF form will be web-based form. Pre-fill facility will always be there. Form has been enhanced. The differences or the enhancement, what are the enhancement as per the LLP Act? Forms में क्या-क्या changes हैं? क्या-क्या rules में changes किए गए हैं? क्या कैसी functionalities add की गई हैं जो stakeholders के लिए अच्छा है? That will be told by our B. Kumar ji, which is a domain expert from MCA governance side. And I hope when our LLP module will launch, it will benefit a large to all the stakeholders. Now, I request Sri Kumarji to kindly brief all the rules, acts related changes, which is important and need to be deliberated, need to be known by the stakeholders. Sri Kumarji, bataiye please. Sri Kumarji?
I think I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah, respected President of ICAI, Office Bearers of ICAI, particularly I am very much thankful to Mrs. Sripriya ji, Preeti Savala ji, and Mr. Pramod Jain ji, and all other office bearers of ICAI for providing this wonderful opportunity for arranging for the enrichment of knowledge to the stakeholders, that is chartered accountants and members and students for having knowledge about this, whatever the new changes we are going to make in this LLP V3 format. Of course, all the forms filing and all will be done by company secretaries, but the major truth is in most of the LLPs, audit firms or LLPs, in the audit firms are in the format of LLPs, where chartered accountants are owner of LLPs. So it will be helpful for chartered accountants to monitor all those secretarial compliances also. So that is the reason we are organizing a webinar through ICAI as well. So before I'm just trying to inform whatever be the changes we are making in this MCA V3 as far as LLP forms are concerned. See, presently all the form filings are under a PDF based. Now we are moving it to web-based filing. So all you must be aware, web-based filing is not a new thing to the members of the ICAI. Already in V2 also we have web-based filing for company incorporation, that is for SPICE plus form and for filing DAR3 KYC. So same way, so to have the better experience of look and feel, this web-based forms are being introduced in this MCA V3 LLP module. See, in this new LLP forms, we have removed a lot of redundant fields. Wherever any repetitions are there, those fields have been reviewed and removed, and many redundant attachments have been done away with, and many forms have made as a linked form. For example, along with Philip form, that is the incorporation form filed for Philip. So along with Philip, the form number 9, that is the details of designated partners, and form number 17, that is for conversion, and form number 18, conversion of a private limited company or unlisted company into a LLP. All these forms have been linked, and presently at the time of incorporation, we have the facility to capture only the DPIN of 2 designated partners. Now we have made it and we have extended it to up to 5 designated partners information can be captured through this Philip form. And the same way, presently if LLP is incorporated with 200 members, there will be a difficulty and all those members details will be captured through attachment only. But in this new LLP V3 format, we have given the facility for add-on facility. Any number of members can be keep on adding while incorporating. And one more important new aspect is we are introducing, that is we are integrating incorporation along with CBDT. That is at the time of incorporation itself, PAN-TAN details can be captured. And at the time of, while generating the certificate of incorporation, the certificate will be provided along with the details of PAN-TAN information. These all are the main changes we are making. And for one more thing, form number 28 is there with regard to foreign companies, and form number 29. So we are merging form number 29 along with form number 28. Form number 29 is a notice that is for alteration in a certificate of incorporation or registration of a foreign company. Now, only one form 28 will be available with the heading alteration in the documents filed for registration by foreign LLPs. Same way, we are also making some changes in form number 11, that is annual return to be filed by the LLPs. Suppose if the LLP's turnover is exceeding 5 crores, it should be certified by a company secretaries, and wherever such LLPs are under a resolution process, then it can be merely signed or certified by the resolution professionals. No need for additional certification by a designated partner. This changes we have in the new form layout. And another important new key features are we are introducing AIML, that is artificial intelligence machine learning for name search functionalities. And we have also integrated with the trademark registry. At the time of filing this Philip form and run LLP form for change of name, the user, while pre-filling the name, at that time itself, the system will throw whether there is a similarity or not. So this will help the user to submit the form successfully, and this will also reduce the regulator, our side, to reduce maximum number of resubmission. And enforcement module have also become very robust. Whenever there is any lapses or non-compliances on the part of LLP, system will generate alert, and notices will get generated automatically, and email will be sent to the LLPs as well as to the designated partners address. These are the important key features we are making. Besides, we are also introducing a mobile application. That is, the main purpose of mobile application will be helpful for the stakeholders with regard to view public document. In case if you want to make any document inspection, this can be done through mobile app itself. This is one of the key features. And beside this, I want to inform all our students and members, kindly go through the latest notification released by our ministry on 11th of February 2022, where new changes have come with regard to adjudication module, and we are also certain provisions of Companies Act are also applicable for LLP. For example, section 90 of Companies Act with regard to significant beneficial owner. So LLP bend to form has been introduced. This will capture the details of significant beneficial owner. Same way, LLP ADJ form has been introduced, will be introduced going forward from 1st of April onwards. Then the provisions of section 164 with regard to disqualification of director is also applicable for LLPs. So no LLPs, no designated partner will be a designated partner of more than 20 LLPs. These are the new changes. And 165 under section 165 is applicable for LLPs also. So with this, I will request my deputy director, Mr. Chandan, to have a few words about the rule changes in LLP format. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your support.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible, but you can put on your video also.
The video is also on.
We are not
Yes,
able
so we can see you.
We can see the video.
I can see him.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks to the ICAI for organizing this interface between the regulator and stakeholders, particularly members of the ICAI. I also thank Ministry of Corporate Affairs, E-Governance sections, who has given me this opportunity to explain the legal aspects of the rollout of the form, which is likely to happen on the 5th, midnight of the 5th. A notification shall be issued because certain consequential and incidental changes have been made in the forms. As you know that every form has a backing of law, they are notified, then only they come into force. As Sri Kumar ji has already explained, a lot of changes have taken place. Salient features have already been given by him. To add to that, I would say that it has been little over a decade. LLP came into being in 2009. Since then, there had not been much movements. There had not been much changes in the LLP Act. But last 2 years have really been momentous. Some important developments have taken place. As you are aware that just before the corona, we have introduced first ever LLP settlement scheme that benefited a lot of LLPs who were not able to file their balance sheet and annual returns because of very high exorbitant additional fees. So we introduced it before corona, and when the corona came, we already have this scheme which was extended. Thereafter, we came with the first ever LLP Amendment Act. Although that Amendment Act was aimed at decriminalization, but we also ensured that in addition to some ease of doing business features, we also tried to fill the regulatory gaps. Pursuant to that, on the 11th of February, we have notified the rules, and by that notification, the provisions of LLP Amendment Act 2021 have become operational, and it shall come into effect on the 1st of April. Certain changes that have been brought in through that amendment had required introduction of new forms, as Sri Kumarji has explained. LLP ADJ form, e-adjudication platform shall also be introduced. We will come on that, but before that, let me explain the changes, legal framework that will be there on the notifications which we are likely to come on 5th of this month. The effort of Ministry of Corporate Affairs has always been to give a good experience and ease of filing of the e-forms. In the version 2 forms, there were a lot of annexures which were filed in the PDF. So the attempt has been made that the annexures, wherever we can do away with, have already been done away with. For example, for filing of the strike-off form, a statement of accounts showing the nil assets and balance sheets were required to be given by the chartered accountant. I have taken up this example first because I am addressing the members of the Chartered Accountant Institute. You need to give the certificate that there is nil assets and nil liabilities. Now, and that was annexed, that was enclosed with the Form 24. Now that shall be captured in the web form itself. And you will fill up the details, and thereafter it shall be signed by the digital signature of the Chartered Accountants. So similar changes have been made wherever possible. Annexes have been done away with, and in the web form itself, details would be keyed in by the persons who will be signing the documents. Earlier, there was a problem that when LLP came into, under IBC for the resolution or for liquidations, or in fact under the LLP Act also, there was no specific form by filing of which the status of LLP could get changed. Also, as Sri Kumarji has explained, that there was a requirement under the rule that annual returns shall be filed by a designated partner and the second designated partner. That is, the designated partner other than the designated partner signing the annual return, we are required to give certificate. We are going to amend that rule. Now, resolution professionals, even including interim resolution professionals, liquidator, if the resolution proceedings have been initiated under the IBC or LLP has come under liquidation under the LLP Act, they would be able to sign balance sheet and annual return as well as file the forms. So they will be recognized in the system. In the past couple of months on this point, we have got a lot of representations, and based on the changes that have been made in the Companies Act, we have introduced this change. Other changes would more or less remain the same. So only the PDF format has got changed into the web-based forms, where certifications, wherever possible, and that has not been required by the law, only by the rules, we are going to change. Only declaration will suffice. So cost of filing the form will definitely reduce because you don't need to buy a stamp paper, pay to the notary and others. Simply you give a declaration and get it signed through the digital signatures. Sri Kumarji has also made a brief mention about this notifications under section 67 of the LLP Act, whereby certain provisions of the Companies Act have been extended. The important section that has been applied to the LLP Act is Section 90 that talks about the SBO, significant beneficial owners. For that, we will also be introducing the form. However, that form will be rolled out from the 1st of April. Ben 1, Ben 2, Ben 3, it would be called LLP Ben 1, Ben 2, Ben 3. More or less, requirements would remain the same. Appropriate changes have been made to suit the regulatory regime of the LLP. This has been done to pierce through the layers of contributions. It is believed that the regulations as have been tightened in the Companies Act, some unscrupulous elements might have been using LLP routes. So this concept has been brought in the LLP Act also. For that, forms should be introduced. There will be no novelty, except for the fact that some appropriate mutatis mutandis changes have been made, and that will be rolled out from the 1st of April. And since this session is more about the technical issues, how the form will be filed and all, so we leave it at that. Another change that has been introduced and in fact brought in from the Companies Act 252 has been applied. So wherever LLP has been struck off earlier, there was no specific provision whereby LLP could have been restored by the order of the National Company Law Tribunal. Now 252 has been extended. Anyone can go to the NCLT and get the LLP restored, which has been struck off. And certain changes, as Sri Kumarji has explained, that related to the adjudications have been coming now under the LLP Act. Also, adjudication will be done by the registrar. Appeals will be made before the regional director. For that, a specific form has come in. And since other things have already been explained by Sri Kumarji, I think not much is left from the legal perspective to tell you. However, if any questions are there at the end of this webinar session, I will welcome. And now I will request the technical team of LTI to explain the technical nuances and nitty-gritty which they need to take care of while filing the forms. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. This is Rohit. Am I audible, Shri Priya?
Yes, you are, Rohitji. And would you like to just switch on the video so we can have a look at you?
It is already switched on.
Somehow it's switched off from your side. It is across.
Yeah, I guess there is some restriction from LTI's this
No problem,
technical.
no problem. So I hope you'll be able to share screen though. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'll just try to. Is my screen invisible?
Yes, it is, Rohitji.
Okay. So yeah, good afternoon to everyone. This is Rohit representing LTI here, and I, along with me, have a team which comprises of both domain as well as technical. I'll just quickly introduce my team. Vijaya is from the domain side of it, and she's heading the domain art side. I have also Sakshi, who's also a domain expert, and also I have Girdhar and Raina, who are from the technical side of it. So with this, I think there have been many discussions that has happened that, how and what changes we are bringing on 6th of March. I just wanted to give you a little bit of brief about the journey till how the implementation looks like till date and how this overall MCA V3 has been so far implemented across MCA. So we had in January last year, and the first phase was the transition. I think JSR was speaking about it in the earlier speech that the transition with the Infosys with LTI that was done seamlessly in the year 2019 by July, and then by that time 2020, and then there was some first phase of this V3 rollout that happened in May 2021, wherein we roll out redesign of the website covering home, homepage, about MCA, news and updates, data and reports, and contact us. We also rolled out ebook, which is mostly getting used on the MCA website because most of the people we see and the students also go there. It is very well organized platform where you can search any of the acts that related to company, LLP, and all those things. We also rolled out e-consultation in the same month as well, and also the email services for MCA officers. We also rolled out a learning management system, which is internal to MCA officers again, a learning platform for the MCA officers, where we also upload the training materials which is required or about to be actually given to MCA officers internally. So those kind of platform, this is the training platform where all the trainings are being uploaded internally. So what we have done in the second phase of this project is that we had the first website global search. So this website global search is nothing, it just searches any of the documents in a more precise and more accurate into the MCA website itself. It also categorizes the type of documents that you're looking at. That's how the segregation is happening, and that's an enhanced way of searching now. So we rolled out in somewhere in 28th of November last year. So the ones in the yellow I'm talking about are the new functionalities that is getting live on 6th. Actually, it was 5th midnight, which is somewhere around early hours of 6th of March. So once you get up at 6, probably you could see these many modules have been changed. So we are starting a new login and registration for LLP modules as of now. I have one slide which will detail out how the login looks like, because we still have not migrated all the company modules so far into the new system altogether. So that will slowly happen with the time in the 2A phase. But how the differentiation will be on 6th of March, I just have one slide how the login looks like. Also, we'll be releasing all the LLP forms, which are around 20 odd forms in the overall LLP. Thinking in how those LLP forms have been integrated, I do have a slide on that as well. We are also launching an enhanced version of LLP back office for the MCA officers, which is getting used for approvals, rejections, and all those things. There are enhanced features also being given to MCA officers to take their decisions, based on the SRN that has been created. So we have dashboards for them to look in the reports. There's also a little bit of details from our room or other places which have been enhanced feature, and also the look and feel of the BO portal has been changed. So in the same phase, which is 2A, what we'll be doing, we're also migrating slowly, and that work is going on the company model to be migrated. So that will be somewhere around end of April, and that we are looking for early May is something we are looking at go live for that as well. So I just noting out here some of the forms which description based on the forms. So there are 20 odd forms that in the LLP which will be going live, and all of them will be web-based forms. So I'm just mentioning here the forms which are going live on 6th of March, and these are the number of forms that I've got descriptions. So what are the key features that we are going live with these apart from forms? One is that we will have a simplified and secure login registration. There's also enhancement done in the forms, as I was mentioning, that we are moving completely from a PDF to forms. Now, web-based forms has its own advantages like pre-fills, business validations. Earlier, you used to wait for once you fill the form, then only you will upload that in the system, which will give you error. If there are any validations to be done, apart from the SPICE, which is already a web-based form in V2 as well. But for the other forms, that used to be a process which used to be a manual validation. Now, once you are moving to this completely new platform of web-based, so your validations will be done in the field itself, which will save your efforts. There are some filling of the data, so you'll just fill in your LLP number, and with that you will get the as a pre-fill, number of fields will be already pre-filled in that form itself. So those kind of enhancements have been done. In the LLP forms, as Shri Kumar sir was mentioning, there are some LLP forms which have been interlinked. I also have a slide after on that, how many forms have been interlinked. So we have 3, 4 being linked, 3, 4, 5 being linked. So that is also an enhancement being done. We also merging form 28 and 29, which is used for usually foreign LLPs. So we are also clubbing that now. Though now there won't be any form 29 because that has been clubbed into form 28. So the other feature that we are that as a key feature is with the new payment platform. I think there were a lot many issues in V2 which we have understood. We have gone through thoroughly, and there have been some issues. Be number of gateways that we are using, be it the enhancement or the addition of new banks. So all those things were taken in consideration, and we made sure that those all are being considered for as an enhancement into the V3 system. So what we have done as of now in the new platform, the payment integration has been done with Bharat Kosh, and this Bharat Kosh has enhancements compared to the V2 system that we are using. So I'll just quickly give you a change that we have been in. There are only 2 gateways, which had a lot of load from the filing perspective. During the peak filing, there were only 2 gateways, and if one of the gateway used to get down from the bank side, because these gateways are usually managed by the banks. So if, let's say example, one of the gateway was getting down, so all the pressure used to go on other gateway. So all those challenges we have fixed here. There are 8 gateways that we have given. Not we, actually NTRP, that's a service that we are giving. So we have tried to address that concern with that enhancement of gateways. There is also one of the challenges was people were not able to, or the users were not able to get the confirmation of the payment has it been done sometimes. So challenge has been done in 2 ways now, because what we are doing is this payment integration Bharat Kosh has there are 2 ways to address this concern. One is, if, let's say example, sometimes there's an integration with the bank problem, with this problem, sometimes you are not able to integrate or you are not get the confirmation on the MCA website, you will be also getting a login ID password of the directly Bharat Kosh. You can have that login ID, go there, a payment history is maintained there as well, and then you can verify, either one of the places that the payment has been confirmed or that has been done. So there are other ways or addition of the ways that has happened that will help users to get a confirmation that the payment has been done. So that is the other enhancement. Also on these platforms or the gateways, there is also a key feature being given by the NTRP, which also tells us in each of these gateways, they are giving pass and fail percentage. What is the percentage of transaction done on these gateways, and what is the percentage so far which are passed on those gateways? So that kind of that NTRP as a feature is giving to give you more and more data oriented, which particular gateway has the highest rate of success rate is something that they're giving. So we also have the interactive dashboard. It's actually an application dashboard, rather interactive dashboard, because this is an enhanced feature on the website itself. So for each of the users, there's an application dashboard been maintained, wherein you can go there and see how many SRs till date you have filed. For example, you have filled some form and you have saved it, but you have gone into something else. You wanted to do something other work, or you got a phone call, or there are some other priority works you are going. You just need to save that form, and you can close it browser or anything that happens. You want to shut down your laptop, or you want to close the laptop, or maybe desktop. So when you log in again, this SRN will be still there in your payment history. You can go back, click on it, and start again opening from there. You can start things from there itself where you are left. But it's important you save your data. Until and save data, the data will not be visible. So that's important, that everybody should be saving the data in whatever priority work they get in. They just need to go there and save your data, and then you can start again if you are getting some other priority work. Also, this application dashboard has the features like you can still download your SRN or the form. Let's say example, in the past history, you can go back, go to the application history of yours. You can download the form for there, and you can see any of the past, history of your SRNs. On the 6th, I think I mentioned a little bit of the revamped back office portal for the officers feature for them to take a decision on the SRNs that they are generating. And also it has feature to search some records. There will be more and more features to it, like compliance e-adjudication. I think Shri Kumar sir was mentioned. So those all modules will be, put into production, from here onwards. And those all will be available for the officers going forward on the BO portal itself. So I was mentioning the user registration highlight. I think for user registration highlight, we have, I was mentioning that this will be altogether new module being created. So what we have done is there's a simplified username and registration process. I think there is an training material also available. I will just give you a brief in the next slide. Once we go to the login, what is the change on the simplified username and registration process that will come up? We have refined user types and roles and groups. Once we go to the demo, we can show you the grouping of the roles based on the user registrations. What we have done also, the easy user ID and password recovery has been done. So you can recover your password, if you are forgetting it. So there is a forgot password, which has been a little bit refined in the way it was happening earlier. And it is faster than what we had done earlier. We are also streamlined the authorization suspension process. There is also an OTP and email ID verification being done once you register yourself, which was not there earlier. So when I say and, it is while you register, you need OTP from both email and phone. If I am using somewhere or, that means you have to put one OTP there. Either you will receive the OTP on both, but once you put in the system, it will take either one of that. Additional security checks being done, the OTP validations, on the forms or the logins, that has also been enhanced. The session expiry is also for 5 minutes, and there's also a latency period checks that has been done. So I was mentioning this login screen. So once on the 6th of morning, if you just open it in the morning, you will see this screen when you log in. So if you see, there are LLP login is separate and the company login is separate. So for company, you will be still routed to the earlier version, because that is still because company is getting filed there. So there is no change as of now on the company. However, on LLP, there is a change. So on the LLP, what change we are bringing in is once you log in, your login ID and credential, which is there from the V2, will work absolutely fine here. You just log in and put, but it will take you to the profile page wherein you will have to go there and update your credentials there, and you can change or update your password or keep it same. Other way, for all the directors which are logging through DSCs, for them there is a login password change which will be communicated one day before the go live, and the password will be as it will be as usually the other usual passwords that normally you will get, but it is a confidential thing because it will be communicated across to all the users. And third but not the least, if this is an opportunity also for the people who are professionals or registered users, for them they needed to upgrade themselves into a business user. So this is also an opportunity for them to update or upgrade their user IDs. So that is the change that is bringing on the login ID. As soon as you move here, and you will be able to access from here onwards the LLP forms. So we have a quick demo as well after this, which will quickly run you through with. What are the form enhancements? Just quickly wanted to run this with you guys. One is this introduction of web forms. I mean, there's lot many efforts that will be saved for you on the business validation. I was mentioning it. Linkage of the forms. So earlier there were some forms which were standalone being filed. Now it is a linkage. You can just link because of the link. You straight away, let's say example, you are filing a form 3. So you can simply go to the form file as well while filing it and save this data, move to the fine form, file it, and then come back and save and do the payment at the end of it. So those kind of options or interlinkages have been done. There's always now within this web form, there's also an auto-filling or pre-filling of the common fields across, which is also ensuring that the data consistency and there's an reflection. We have made sure that the fields or the duplicate fields gets pre-filled or they have been removed. That gives an also some of the fields within the forms have been taken off or the redundant fields have been taken off. You will see a lot many forms which are redundant or duplicate. Those have been taken off. There is also the minimization of attachments, which has been done, like declaration in the form or digital attachment. So all those things have been taken off. You have to simply tick that. Otherwise, they use user to go separate the declaration thing. Now it is simply a tick mark over there, which will reduce again your efforts. There's also field validations being done at the form itself rather than doing at the end of the form, so as to make sure that the data that you are feeding into the form is done in there itself. Last but not the least, I think this was the concern that everybody had earlier. The maximum size of the form to be uploaded on the MCA portal was 6 MB. It has been extended to 10 MB overall. So there can be checks. So the upload can be within that form if there are some other forms are also 6 or 7 MB one file. But as a total, if you are putting only 10 MB, it will still allow you to go there. So overall form size have been increased to 10 MB. So on the payment gate highlights I was mentioning earlier as well, there are not many changes that has been done on the payment as well. It is integrated with Bharat Kosh, and it is a 24 cross year around electronic payment service. There is also an increase in payment gateways. I was mentioning 2 to 8, and it's accepting all Indian cards. It's also critical V2 issues I was mentioning. Those have been addressed here, like easy tracking of payment status. I was mentioning you can also have a payment tracking status in the portal as well. There's also increased payment modes. Some of them were there, but some of them I just mentioning that UPI was not there earlier, which has been now upgraded. NEFT, UTR number update, challan generations. So all those things, well, the UPI is something which has got updated. So as I was mentioning, that application dashboard, it has an interactive dashboard where is a one-stop place for SRN tracking. You can track total e-forms filed. There's also a feature to filter data analysis basis, SRN date, all those features I was mentioning earlier, those will be available. There's also a call to action button such as edit button, pay fees, resubmit on the payment history where you can start. So if you have saved it, you have created the SRN, but you forgot to put it may be automatically saved into your application history. You can go back, log in, start from there, do the payment. It will straight away take you the payment and do the payment done. Similarly, notification reminders or SMS and email have been assigned. So let's say example, your SRN is generated, a notification will go, your payment is done, a notification will go. Similarly, the difference between STP and non-STP forms of some other forms which will get into the BO portal for their approvals. Once they approve it, you will also receive an for let's say example run form for Philip. You need a run form or approved run SRN to be while you're filing the Philip. Is not approved, you will not file the Philip form. So for run, until unless it is not approved by back office, you will not be able to file it. So for that approval, so you have submitted the form and the payment is done, it has gone to the in progress or the payment is also done, and also it has gone to the in progress state, wherein the back office officer is still validating or reviewing this particular SRN. So as soon as he approves it, the notification will be sent to the user that this particular SRN has been approved. So you will be quickly notified, and then you can start filing the Philip form. Similarly, a filing history is maintained to access the historical filing data. So as I was mentioning earlier, there have been some forms which have been linked, like 3, 4, 5 has been linked. Philip has been linked with 9, 17, 18. We are also enhanced PAN-TAN integration and validating for LLP forms. We are also making sure integration with trademark is done, which gives which has saved a lot of data, because while doing this session earlier and the webinars like these with ICSI or other team members that they have appreciated this initiative where you are getting a upfront information or information about the name checks, which will help you to at least upfront.
Is this like newly like?
And someone muted.
I haven't seen this edit before.
Yeah, thank you. Also, the form 28, 29 have been merged. There's no 29 that all the fields have been merged in 28. So you will find only 28, form number 28 now while you log in on 6th morning. So I'll just hand over this now to my team. Technical team will just do a quick domain and technical team, which is Vijaya, Sakshi, Raina, who will just give a on the form end to end in order to give you a view how does it look like on 6th. So Sakshi, Raina, can you just quickly share your screens and then start it?
Sure. Thank you, Rohit. So we will first be showcasing how the user registration will be done for professionals, and also the features that we have added in user registration. Along with that, we will also be showcasing how the form will be filed now in V3. So we'll take up one of the forms and we'll quickly showcase how that will be filed in the current system. Raina, if you can share your screen.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Please let me know once my screen is visible.
Not yet visible.
Actually, it's not allowing me to share my screen.
We have already allowed you to share the screen.
Okay, it's coming now. Yes. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Rena.
Yes, Raina, it is visible.
Yeah, it is visible.
So Raina, can you just go back? Can you just go back? Sorry. Yeah. So, sir, can you go up? Yeah. So, sir, once you log in, so can you go back? Can you go to the main Yeah, just so once you open the website on 6th morning, you need to go to the sign and sign up option on the right top corner. If you just click on this, sign in, sign up. Yeah. So as soon as you log in on this, you will see, as I mentioned, there's a screenshot also on the my presentation. If you can just come down, Raina. So there will be 2 logins that will be there. If you just click for on filings quickly, company. Yeah. So, sir, Raina, you need to be a little bit slow. To go a little bit slow, yeah. Go there, click on company. Just wait here. So if you see, this is the earlier login V2 login it will take to, and then you can just put in your login credentials here and start your company filing. So it is as straight as it can be. So go back. So we are not changing anything here. If you go back, yeah. So login, sign in, sign up. So this is where for LLP filing, if you see there's a register button just below it. So if you're a new user want to register here, you can go there and register yourself. Now, if you're already registered, you just need to fill in your credentials on this. It will take you to the profile page, and then you can start updating your credentials there. However, we'll just show you here because that change has to happen just one day before the go live, where we'll just do that change. But as of now, we'll just go through the registration part of it. So if you are a new user, want to register, go on registration, Raina. Yeah, so if you go to, yeah, so these are the user category I was mentioning earlier. You can choose your role and just update your PAN details and then just move forward.
So under user roles, you'll see that different options are there. So you may create different user IDs for the company or LLP, and the company and LLP may file any form with respect to its own LLP and SIN. And in terms of director and designated partners also, so with whichever company or LLP they are associated, for that they can file all the forms on MCA portal. In V2, there was one problem where if you used to select a designated partner or company, then also same information was required to be filled, which was in case of professionals or any other user category. But now that has been changed. So if you're selecting company or LLP user, you will be required to put the information with respect to that company or LLP only, and not any other information. This income tax PAN will also be verified. So the user needs to make sure that whatever the information we are putting here, be it professional membership number or income tax PAN number, that has to be correctly put, which we also take care while we fill in the forms also. Yes, go ahead, Raina.
But it will also pass you H2DL now. If they have changed the group is custom. Maybe this already has a record. If you delete this record, then it will automatically delete it.
So if we see the stepper above, that is created for users ease. Page wise, the heading has been given. So if the user has completed putting information in one page, the circle will turn into a tick mark. So the user will get to know that he has already completed page 1, page 2, and now the user is on page 3, which is contact details. And the same thing has also been incorporated in all the forms also. One more feature that we have added in user registration and in forms also, whenever the user enters the PIN code of India, any PIN code within India, the state will get pre-filled, and city and area locality, you'll also receive drop downs. So the earlier efforts to put the details manually have now been reduced. So now we are on the login details. We need to put the password and the hint question. This facility was also there in V2 system. If we click on create my account, we'll be receiving password on both our email ID and mobile number. As Rohit mentioned that here and is written, so we'll have to provide both the OTPs. Different OTPs will be received. So if you already have a user ID which is already registered with any particular email IDs, the system will throw an error, and thereby one email ID will from one email ID only one user will be created. So we need to make sure that all the email IDs that we are using for company login, LLP login, or professional login, or any other login shall be unique, and we cannot repeat that. So while creating any user, we need to make sure that whatever the email ID we are providing shall belong to that particular user only. So Raina, if we can show now one particular scenario where the email ID is also acceptable. So once your email ID accepted, you'll also receive this sort of message that your email ID, that your user has been created as business user. Along with that, we will also be receiving SMS for that and email. This sort of email will receive as soon as our user ID is created. So now I think we can forward to showcase how the forms are being filed on MCA portal. We can take up any of the forms. We can take up Philip form also, which is for creation of LLP. Since this user ID is already there, so we'll try to log in from this particular ID. Whenever the user is logging in for the first time after creation of user ID, or if there is a change in system or browser, the user will receive an OTP for verification purpose. On the MCA portal, we have this My application, which Rohit also mentioned, the interactive dashboard. Here, the for this is especially for the professional users because we file multiple forms during the day. So here you'll be able to find complete history of whatever the forms have been filed and for whichever entity those forms have been filed. There are various filters also, and you'll be able to perform various actions also here. You can download the applications which have been filed by you. If there are any particular applications which are in saved mode, however those have not been filed yet, you can also download them or edit them and also upload them if that is completed. So these are the features which are available to all the users, be it company users, LLP users, or professional users. So this application board is something of a tracker for all the filings. Now, if you go to MCA services, you'll be able to find e-filing where all the forms are placed except Run LLP. Run LLP is there in LLP services. Can you go to LLP services and show Run LLP? Yes. So if we go to LLP services, Run LLP is there. And if we go to e-filing, all the rest of the forms are there. We can try filing Philip form. So in Philip form, we have got two options. Either we already file run form, which is for name reservation prior to filing Philip form. We get two different options for proposed name. So for today's demo, we have already filed and approved one run form. We will showcase from that only. We already have an approved SRN for run form. So here we have form language English and Hindi. At present only English is there, and maybe in the near future Hindi will also get notified by MCA as and when MCA decides to notify in Hindi also. So at present only English option is there, as it is there in V2 also. In refer instruction kit, you will be able to see the updated action kits and help kits for V3, which you can refer to while filing your form. So earlier, the user had to download a complete help kit and web form, which used to consume a lot of space in user's system. Now, in the another tab, you'll be able to see complete help kit, and you can refer to it anytime you wish to during the filing of the form. So as I mentioned, the steppers are also included in all the forms. At present, we are on LLP details, and as soon as we move ahead, these steppers will be will keep on updating. We have also included the feature of pre-fill of the information. Since we already have an approved SRN, we'll showcase that how the information gets pre-filled. So our this particular SRN was already approved by the name of Visa Buildwell LLP, and that name is already pre-filled. So whichever field which we cannot edit or we cannot modify, that will be in disabled mode. So we'll not be able to do anything to that particular field. So Visa Buildwell, since it's already an approved name, so that is why it is in pre-filled and disabled mode. User will not be able to edit this particular field anytime while filing this form. As soon as you save the data in the application history, you can access this anytime and your data will be saved. Like you must have already seen this and this in Spice and DIR3 KYC form, which was already there in V2 in web-based manner. Here also the pin code facility is there. As soon as we enter the pin, able to get the drop down of area and locality. The city is getting auto pre-filled. District, state is getting is also getting pre-filled. Latitude and longitude details as also required in filing with any registered office related form of company or INC 22A of company. The same feature has also been added in this particular form for LLPs now. As mentioned by Rohit, now each individual attachments in all the forms have now been, the size have now been allowed to up to 2 MB. So for all the attachments, the users may, all the individual attachments, they can definitely upload up to 2 MB. However, the overall size of the form, including the DSC and all the attachments, that has now been increased to up to 10 MB. Basis the pin code that we have entered, will also receive the drop downs for the registrar of company's office that is on that particular LLP. And this details of business activity, it is getting pre-filled from what we have filed in run form. So in run form also, we are now required to file NIC code. Up to 3 codes we can select, and basis which our LLP will get incorporated, and user will not be able to make any changes in Philip form in whatever NIC code they have selected in run form. Now we are following NIC code 2008, and we also get a search option in selecting this. And search option is disabled here, it will be enabled in run form. So whenever the user clicks on search option, user will be able to see various NIC codes available, and you can also put some alphabets to get the information pre-filled on your system. For the purpose of filing, we are putting the information of individuals having DIN and DPIN as 2, and rest we are putting 0. The users can file according to what is applicable on them. Now, basis the details what we fill above, this particular field will get regenerated. So since we have filled that 2 of our designated partners have DPIN, this is the second, this is for the details of second designated partner. Rest of the details are disabled because we did not select any number, we did not put any value, we had put 0 in all the rest of the fields. So this complete information is disabled and user will not be able to fill anything here. So this is also for the user's ease, that they come to know that this information is not required to be filled by them. At each page, user gets the option to save the information. Can you move, can you scroll up, Raina? Yes, so if you see the stepper, we have already filled the information of LLP. We have already filled the information with respect to designated partners. Now we are on the page where the details of other partners are required to be given. So since we have already put 0 in there, these all fields are also disabled for us. And we come to know that we are not required to fill all these informations. Since we are also integrating PAN and TAN now with Philip, so this area code, which is also there in SPICE form, is also required to be filled here in Philip. Now, since Form 9 has been integrated with Philip form, users will not be required to file this Form 9 for those who already, for those designated partner who already have their DPIN. However, for those partners who do not have their DPIN, they can attach their consent in the form of an attachment. Subscriber sheet is already there, like it was there earlier. And Form 9 for those designated partners who do not have their DPIN can be filed as an attachment. And for those who already have a DIN, Form 9 will be linked to this particular form. On this web form, the DSC box is disabled because the user is not required to affix the DSCs on the web form. They are required to affix the DSC on the PDF that loaded after we submit this form. Yes, go ahead, Raina. And we can also show the review page also. Can you go on the top? So if you see, a user has already completed filling up all the pages. Now they are on, now he's on review and proceed page, wherein the user gets the option to edit page wise or field or section division wise. So here user information filled by him or her, and he or she need not go back to that particular page where the edit is required to be done. So that manual effort is also reduced. And this after the information is edited on the same page, we can save the information also, and the information will get updated. Yes, Raina, go ahead, please. So this is how the linkage will work. It will give us the option to proceed to another form, which is already linked with this particular form. Since form 9 is linked with Philip now, so it is giving us the option to move to form 9. Selected conversion of company into LLP or conversion of partnership firm into LLP, we would have been given the option to, after this form 9, we would have been given the option to move to form 17 or 18 as applicable. So if you see, this is the form 9. And since all the information is getting pre-filled from Philip form, the manual effort of putting the details in form 9 and taking a print of it, getting the same signed and submitting that in the Philip form is also reduced now. Yes, please continue. Since we had 2 designated partners who already had deepen, so all the information is pre-filled here. Now we are getting to proceed to e-file, and as soon as we click on proceed to e-file or submit, we get our files downloaded, and also the SRN is generated. For linked filing also, only single SRN is generated. And since there are 2 files here, 2 files to be uploaded here, we get 2 placeholders to upload the form, signed form. And in case if you're not able to download the files, you also get a link here to download the PDF files. Can you scroll up, Raina, and show the link where the download option here? The download option is also given to all the users in case any technical issue persists or the pop-ups are not enabled. In any which case, the user get the option to download the PDF from here. Yes. Raina, if you're checking the PDF, you'll have to reshare that particular screen because we are still able to see MCA only.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Raina, your screen is not visible.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
So this is how the PDF will look like. It looks like what we have in V2 only. And we also get a here, the user gets the option to upload, affix his DSC as we used to get in V2 also. You can rename the file or you can save it. So as soon as the files are signed, the user can upload, choose file from this placeholder, and they can upload the forms here and proceed to payment from here only. So let Raina sign the form and then we'll upload the same here.
Rana, can you share your screen, please?
Yeah, sure. Is my screen visible?
Application history. Can you go back to application history, Rana? Yeah, go back to application history and pick up one of the Philip from there.
Yes, sure.
Which is already being paid. So are we applying the right DSC here? Do you want to finish this off, then go to application history, or how is it?
Yes. We'll just I'll just sign the form and I can navigate back to uploading of these PDFs.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. So you can do it quickly and then upload it.
Yeah, I'll be uploading the files. So these files have been uploaded successfully.
Go to the payment.
Yes.
Yeah, so once this is done, this is the screen you will get, which is the fee thing. So this is the 4,000 fee that is based on the data that we have feed in. Go to the payment. And these are the two options that are available online and offline for the payment. As soon as you click on a, let's say, example and do a submit, as I was mentioning that Bharat Kosh is the new integration platform, and it will go to the Bharat Kosh website now from here. So now we are moved out of the MCA website and we have got just now hitting onto the or working onto the Bharat Kosh website, and we'll do the payment here. You quickly confirm. So I was mentioning in my presentation as well, there are different kind of gateways being mentioned here. So if you see a success rate also being given here, since this is a test server, so that is how they have given us one of the gateways to be tested. So we're using Access, and then we are going with one of the credit cards, sorry, debit cards, and then Visa, and then putting the details, and then done, pay. So it will ask you for credit card details. Test, proceed, and then pay. Okay, so once you have done the payment, you have come back to the MCA website. Now this receipt will be generated. So now there's a quick change that everybody has to make sure that your pop-up has to be enabled here. If your pop-up is not enabled, you won't be able to find the screen. You have to make your pop-ups up. So let's say example, your pop-up was not up or enabled, and you still had done the transaction. You can go simply enable your pop-up and then click the refresh button, and this screen will come. So if you go up, you will see a download screen there as well on the right hand side top. Yeah, there's a download here. This receipt can be downloaded from here. So in the overall, if you see, so successful, if you see here, you can download it. So sir, this is one of the, although you are all professionals here, so this is one of the longest form that we have in LLP form. We have taken deliberately this form today because this is one of the longest form to make sure that give a complete demo end-to-end from the incorporation perspective. Say. So with this, Shri Kumar sir, Sanjay sir, and e-governance across Shri Priya ma'am, this is all from our side. We can take some questions if there are. From the demo perspective, we are done. Thank you very much, Raina, Sakshi, and Vijay for your time.
Thank you very much for the excellent presentation. I am very sure that the members would be hugely, immensely benefited out of this. Any initial comments, Shri Priya ma'am? Okay.
She's not there, I think.
Okay. She'll be joining.
Pramodji, can we take questions? If anyone has asked, if Sarika can put up the questions, you can.
Yeah. I will be talking about that. Various questions have been asked. Because if I talk about total members who have been watching this is nearly, if I check out, it would be more than, it is increased to a great extent. It is nearly 4,000 members. Certain few questions out here. There was currently this problem which is there for this payment options when we talk about the receipt of the challan when the payment is being made. Currently, there is a problem on the LLP portal as well as MCA portal. Now, whether this problem of receipt, the challan of the fee paid would be available, because currently we were seeing that the payments were being made, but the challans were generated after a few days.
So sir, this is instant now, and I'll just give you a quick demo how the payment is received, and that is getting download. So earlier, what was happening, sir? I was just mentioning, once you go to the payment, you are going to the banking portal, because you are hitting that portal, the challans is getting generated on MCA, but you have to come on the MCA portal. So what used to happen, if the integration in between breaks, your challan was not getting generated because there were very high hits on the payment or the gateway that we are using. We have enhanced that so users can easily get that challan. That's one. Second is you can download it as well once it is created. So there are two places where you could see a payment being confirmation or not. As I was mentioning, so let's say example, I'm a user and I have just done the payment for my first form, and I gone to the payment. So on the first time, it will ask me for the account details and information which is required in the production. As soon as I go there, you will also receive on your email ID, which is registered MCA portal, a login ID and credential of NTRP portal as well. So for a user, so you have two options, sir. If let's say example, this integration breaks, although we had made sure that this doesn't break, but there are high chances because if you see payments usually do break. But for you, there is also a login ID of NTRP portal. Go there on the Bharatkosh, on the production IP, use your login ID credential. There's also a payment history been maintained. You can see your payment confirmation there as well. So there won't be no confusion where people, users say, okay, I'm not able to see my payment confirmation. So this is one of the enhanced or extra hand being given to see their payment has been done or not.
So that would be resolved because lots of members have this issue. So also, would that be available also for the companies or only for LLP?
Sir, once this company will be moved, slowly because this is a V3 feature altogether. But it will be available in companies once we completely move into, all the companies will be moved into V3, sir.
Great. Thank you very much, Rohit. One question which has been asked by Saurabh Garg is that whether the pay later option would be still available on the new model.
Yes, sir. We showcased you two things there, right, sir? One is online and offline. If you choose offline, all the options will be available which were there earlier as well, which is NEFT, credit card, or you are taking to the challan to the bank and do the payment there. So both these will be available. What we have done this time as well, the UPI payments were not available earlier. So I could see, though this was one of the feedback during requirement gathering, the UPI payment should be also enabled. So NTRP has given us a feature to do a payment through UPI as well. So that also is there, sir.
Great. Another question is regarding Mr. Sarthi. Do we need to? This question is from Rajesh Singhania. As a professional, will I have to create a new user ID for the LLP filing?
No, sir. There is no required of new LLP filings. What will happen? You have to use the existing credentials. Go to the LLP, log in the first day. It will take you to the profile page where you can go and update your details, but it will not change. So let's say, example, you want to update or change something there, you can go and change it. Only the users who are directors and log in through DSCs, for them, the passwords will change, not the login ID will change.
Great. And friends, lots of people are again asking the question about this payment. Just to state what Rohit ji has just said, that after this, from the 6th of April, with the new third version, this payment challan viewing of that would be very, very simplified and would be available online. So it would be there. Another question is what you talked about is that with this new e-file filing of this web-based form, you said that synchronized with the income tax CBDT portal, where the PAN would be made available. What would happen in the case of conversion of a company into NLP? Whether we'll be still getting the new PAN time?
So sir, this is Vijaya. So currently also, sir, if you look at the company case, for example, whenever you're filing a Spice Plus Part B and you selected a purpose as LLP to company conversion, you are getting a new PAN number. The same process would apply here also.
Okay.
So you'll be getting a new, yes.
Okay, another question which was that what initially was stated by Sanjay ji, that form 28-29 would be merged. Now, just one question, whether that two separate forms, do we see that there would be any technical legal issue in the rules where we need to have a single form for 28-29, or will be having that form with the two different forms in the one file?
So rules will get re-notified, sir, in accordance with this change.
Okay.
Form also will get re-notified. So now we'll be having only form 28, which will have both 28 and 29.
Great. Whether the pay letter duration would be same as 7 days?
Yes, no change in that.
Ganeshji's question is this.
Sir, just to put it on record, we are not changing any process what is there in V2 from the payment. Only the integration has changed. Rest of the processes is the same. There's no change to that.
One question, another is from Chandramohan Ranaji. State of a forms already filed but under resubmission. So what will happen, because they're not able to file up to 5th of March?
So if they are not failed, sorry Vijay, you can carry on.
So sir, all the resubmitted forms, whatever the forms which are under resubmission status, once we go live with the V3 system, so they will be able to resubmit all these V2 SRNs in V3 system. So SRN would remain same, so we'll be migrating all these SRNs to V3 system with it as a status. So they will be able to resubmit it, and we'll be extending the period also. If this period is in between this period and because 30 days is the time period, so we'll be giving the relevant extension also for these RSUB cases, resubmission cases.
So would it be for all LLP filings where the due date was up to 5th of March, or only resubmissions for all?
All forms which are under resubmission status as of now, sir. So all those will be getting a extension period. And
Only
same way, yes, sir.
Only resubmission or the original filing also?
No, sir, only resubmission, sir.
So
And
suppose,
all, yes, sir.
now suppose there was a form LLP3 which was to be filed, whose last date is say 4th of March, and they want to file it now. So if they are not able to file, they'll have to pay the additional fee?
So, currently they will have to pay along with the additional fee. So, if any update on that, so we'll be getting a circular from MCA. So, but we have not received any update on that. So, as of now, yes, sir. So they may have to pay along with the additional fee. If suppose the event date occurs, the due date occurs between these two, this 7 days period.
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, sir. And one more thing to
So
update, sir, as far as
Vijaya.
Yes, sir.
Here. See, we have given a notice well in advance on 1st of February onwards.
Yes, yes, sir.
Plan the stakeholders accordingly. That is the reason we are not permitting such cases.
Yes. And so one more point to highlight on name reservation. Suppose you have a name reserved through LLP. Suppose it is expiring during this period, or so we have extended all such name reservation period also, so that they'll be able to file Philip form in V3 system.
Okay. Viral Satraji's question, I suppose that could be quite already answered type, I would say. Will there be a need for new registration of LLP if we are already a registered user in the current portal?
I think we answered that.
You already answered that. This question is from Gunda Subramaniam Setti, sir. We have uploaded a form 8 for LLP on 30th December 2021. The screen where we chose pay later was not showing due to high traffic, and later status of same was showing as payment pending. Can we regularize the same, or do we have to refile form 8 and filing is resulting in huge payment? I suppose that is not related to version 3.
It is not related to this, sir. So
there is a specific query, they can escalate it through help desk.
Yes, sir. They can raise a ticket, and our technical team will check the issue, and they can respond to the ticket.
So one question that has been in minds of lots of professionals, I'll not say only CAs, they could be CS also, that the new additional fee which is applicable from 1st of April. So what will happen to a form which is pending for so many days? So will they would be able to file with the new additional fee from 1st April, or they'll have to pay 100 rupees per day of the previous pending delays also?
So, sir, actually, so this, if you look at the rules, it is basically an entire fee schedule is getting substituted. It means you will be having only one set of rules applicability, irrespective of your event date or irrespective of your due date. Suppose if you have not filed a form 8, say from past 2 or 3 years, so and you try to file a form post 1st April, so you will be charged as per the revised fee rules only for the entire period. So you will not have the 2 set of fees like till 31st March, 100 rupees per day. And then after that, it is based on the number of delay days. So it is not like that. It is only one fee that would get charged as per the revised fee rules. Because it is the entire, this rules got substituted, right? So I mean, there is no way, nowhere it is mentioned that they will require to pay both type of fees if there is delayed filings prior to 31st March.
Kindly, because this matter becomes very important. Suppose what you are saying, Vijayaji, is that if they have not filed for 2 years,
yes,
and now if they file now, they will be paying 70,000 rupees. But if they file in April, they will be paying only 20,000 rupees.
Yes, sir. I think that is the most of the stakeholders are waiting for this fee rules implementation. But we specifically,
is it sure? Because we are online. So because what you are saying, if that is there, then should we advise the members to wait for 30 more days? Because this is a very important issue.
Yes, sir. Shikumar sir is also there. I think we have discussed all these issues internally also. Maybe
Yes, sir.
Shikumar sir also can confirm.
Sure, sir.
It is less than 30 days now.
It is confirmed only. Yeah.
It is confirmed only. Okay.
And it is less than 30 days also, no, now though.
Yeah. So let us 30 days, less than 30 days. I fully agree. So friends, please take care of this. Tell all your clients to make the compliances on time, because it is not only about the late fee. because in the case of delay, the penalty could also be there, and then the education of penalty again is going to be the new way in this new portal. So can you throw some light on this education or adjudication of the penalty through this new portal, whether it would be more simplified, effective, or because currently it is not there, so would that be starting effective or not?
So, sir, adjudication, so will go live soon. If you look at the rules also, so there are multiple rules or the sections got notified as per the LLP Amendment Act 2021, followed by LLP amendment rules. So we will be having a new form called LLP ADJ form. So whenever, if they want to appeal against the e-adjudication order, they can definitely go and file this ADJ form. So to answer your question, yes, sir. So very soon, we'll be implementing all these e-adjudication rules, and if there is any delay or any default which requires the penalty payment, so that will definitely get implemented, and this form also will go live soon, sir. ADJ form.
Great. We have got very less time now. Questions are umpteen. Sumit Shahji's question is. Form 8 filing, how to apply DSC for director and professional in two different computer and different locations.
So, sir, if you look at the Philip, the demo that we have showcased, so only the form filling will happen on the web-based form. Once you fill in the form and once you submit it without affixing DSC, so it is a mandatory step to convert your web form into PDF. Only then you will be able to affix your DSC. Suppose if there are 2 DSCs required, so you have to affix those DSCs in the PDF version of form only, right? So they can affix the first DSC and they can share this PDF or email for the second person. So the way we are doing it currently in a PDF based filing. So same approach would apply, but only the changes, form filling part would happen in a web-based web-based format. But as far as DSC affixation is concerned, so there is no change. They have to affix their DSC in the PDF form only.
Great. Thank you. And friends, again, lots of questions are coming about late fee reduction and all those things. Kindly read the notification for the LLP amendment rules dated 11th of February 2022, where lots of amendments have been made in the rule that all the filing fee sections the Act has taken care of, and rules the payment fee has taken care of. So kindly go through that. Now I'll request my chairperson CA Preeti Salwaji, who is from Mumbai, to make her concluding remarks about the whole discussion today we had, starting from Pandey sir and President sir and all of us. Preeti ji, all yours.
Thank you, Pramod ji, for giving me this opportunity for conclusion. So, friends,
just a small question I got. Just wanted to get a confirmation before we close this. I think there was a question raised by many of the users that for DSC association on FO portal, do we need to do a login or not on MCA portal? In V2, in the earlier version, there was no login being required to associate your DSC. However, in V3, which is the new version, there you need to associate your DSC. While you associate DSC, a login is required. Okay, you have to log in, then associate your DSC. That is one of the change. I think this was one. I just wanted to clarify here in this webinar, the login will be required to associate the DSC in the new version of V3. Sorry, Preeti ji, I just disturbed in between.
No problem. Thank you for clarification about that. So, friends, all of you are aware that since last 25th of February 2022, this LLP, we are not able to make any amendments or formation because of this new schemas and new things are coming up. But friends, MCA is actually under the LTI's team, they are really working very hard to come up with this new web portal for filing of LLP, and Shri Priya madam is there, and since last Saturday actually we are making daily basis the trial runs, and we have with the support of Pramod ji as well as President sir, Vice President sir, we have formed a group, and who is testing. The entire group members are testing this draft forms, whether they are working, and on daily basis entire team is there who are all over here testing whether these are working properly, not working, affixing of DSC, sending on email, coming back, login, whether OTPs are generating properly. So from beginning to end, everything is getting checked. So let us hope. And again, I would share that we will get two problems when we are coming up with new technology. Every time in the beginning, we get the two problems, but we will make it sure that all this while making the test runs, we are getting it cured, all the bugs are getting cured. So we are waiting again for today's program. I really appreciate the support which has been given by MCA, and being Manoj Pandeyji, our government nominee on at the ICAI and Joint Secretary of MCA, been there giving his opening remarks and bringing out all these things for the at large for the members. Again, followed by Sanjay Chenji, the Director E-Governance MCA. Again, Mr. B. Sri Kumar, Joint Director E-Governance MCA, and Mr. Chandan Kumar, Deputy Director E-Governance MCA. The entire team of MCA was here to support this. And also we had from this LTI entire team, Rohit ji, Vijaya ji, Sakshi ji, Raina ji, we are coordinating day in and day out. Again, lot of questions, and again, we have been made it understood the payment system, what issues we are getting at MCA payment. Now Bharat Kosh is there, and which is very wonderful system, and the payment is being made smooth with this Bharat Kosh being implemented. For a lot of new things are coming up, and the Pramod ji, again, I would really thank him for coordinating the entire session and coordinating prior to the session also with the MCA officials and others, so that we can do this entire session very properly. Again, friends, please wait and watch. We'll be coming up few more sessions once this has been implemented. The target is for this 6th March. So we may come up with the support of Shri Priya Madam and Pramodji and President and Vice President Sir. One more session maybe post implementation of this system after 6th March, so that the issues the members might come up with using this system, some issues which we can again take up. So with the support of MCA and LTI, we will be actually, interacting with them and coming up with this. So I really thank all the dignitaries for taking up this session much at the required time while this is coming up, and the entire team of Sarika Madam is there, and entire team of the institute, MCA team, LTI team. And once again, thank you all the members for listening and being in this session. Please feel free to connect with us with the issues and any questions coming up. So thank you very much. Shri Priya Madam, the Chairperson of the committee, Pramod ji, and entire team of MCA, and all my friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Preeti, and look forward to more interactions in the future. Thank you very much. And ICI will do our best to make this easier for everybody. Thanks.
Thanks to all, and Secretariat, and also again requesting, which we started initially, that if you have any issues related to MCA, please mail it to Shri Priya ji, Preeti ji, Sarika ji, CLCGC, instead of airing on the whole committee under the leadership of Shri Priya ji and Preeti ji would be taking it up with the able Secretariat of Sarika and whole our team. Again,
we'll set up a separate mail ID to take all grievances, so that we can have a separate pipe with LNT and get it resolved quickly, and it will be a learning for everybody. So I request Committee Secretary would set up a separate mail ID where you can send us a copy of your grievances along with sending it to the respective portal owner, which is L&T. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.